What's up, everybody? This is Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, the founder, and the president of the ONYXCON Foundation for an ONYXCON exclusive. That's right, ONYXCON exclusive. Exclusive. Yeah, I'm making up my own voice mixing here because I don't have the technology to do that. But I tell you who does. In the world of Cyberpunk 2077, there is an array of amazing technology, really cool graphics, and one of the greatest, also most glitchiest, I said glitchy, yes, glitchiest games of all time. But nonetheless, those of us who love it to death, and we played through the love-hate relationship because in the end, it's mostly love. You know what I'm saying, my chooms? If you ain't hip to the lingo, choom means friend in the world of Cyberpunk. So let's get into it. I will be dropping some lingo from the game. And if you're not hip, you just need to play the game. Or you need to watch that new Netflix. No, this is not a paid ad. This is just, again, love for the game because it's such a creative concept. But the game has spawned an entire plethora of other things. But it didn't all start with this game. Let's give foremost shout out to the man himself, Mr. Michael Pondsmith. Yes, this is an African-American man who is a writer who created the entire world. Yes, created the entire world of Cyberpunk 2077 as we know it. And this all started from his gaming company. Yes, Michael Pondsmith, the creator of Cyberpunk 2077, all started from a board game, a tabletop RPG, role-playing game that you play just like you would play Dungeons and Dragons, roll the dice, have a master of the game that tells the story, gives scenarios, and the players have to pick situations, roll the dice for different power points based on their characters and make different actions with consequences. Yes, that is the basis of everything that became this amazing game, created by a Polish gaming company called CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red is responsible for the Witcher game series and many other amazing titles, but especially is known for Witcher and, of course, Cyberpunk. So, in this game, what you're watching right now is an amazing scene of a special mission that is part of a multi-part mission. It's a side mission in the game. You have your main mission and you have your side missions, you have your gigs, all of that. And so one is called Holding On. And in Holding On, your inner conscious, a character played by the impeccable Mr. Keanu Reeves as Johnny Silverhand, is a rock star who died way before your character was born. All right, I mean, you grew up listening to the music. He's a legend in the rock landscape of Cyberpunk, and so basically he died, but someone preserved his brain on a microchip that ends up in your brain. And I won't get into all the ins and outs of that. You just have to play the game if you really want to know how and why and all of that. It's not hard to find. There's been enough videos made about this thing, so check it out if you really want to go that deep. All right, but Johnny had a band called Samurai, and Samurai was one of the most popular. Just think of like the Rolling Stones as a cyberpunk band. I mean, that's kind of what the fame of this group is like. You can kind of tell when you're looking at the game. You hear about them in a certain way, and you start realizing, okay, that's the kind of fame they had. And Johnny was the leader, and so he's in your head. He's kind of a prick. He's mostly an asshole, but over time, you start to appreciate Johnny because he gives you wisdom and insight on things you wouldn't know about as you play through. So in this situation, he's trying to get the band back together because he's holding on. You know what I'm saying? Let's sing the other song, the R&B classic, Holding On, and that's all right. Yeah,
that's the Rimbo who did Royce. No. Wouldn't be that stupid to show up here.
You go up in this club called the Totentons, and Totentons is held by this gang called MAELSTROM. MAELSTROM is one of the wickedest gangs in the whole Cyberpunk 2077 universe. They are off the chain crazy, okay? They are not the ones to mess with. But they're one of my favorite gangs to fight because they're just so crazy looking, and they're cool to look at. I mean, they got so much going on. They're just interesting. I mean, you know what I mean? They're a mess, but there's something, fun to play against. So in this situation, you're trying to rescue a lady who's a journalist who used to be a member of Johnny's band, because he's trying to send a message to her through you that he wants to get the band back together. And she's like, whatever. I got a whole new life. Can't even believe this is happening, but whatever. So it works out, and that's a whole nother part of the story. If you want to have fun with that, do it. If you haven't played it and you got the game and you want to get the game and play it, it's really worth it. But when you get to this doggone hotel, when I tell y'all this is one of the scariest, most cool scenes, and I got to replay it again. So here's my feelings on that, right? When you walk into the hotel, of course, it's scary. I mean, it's just scary. I mean, it's dark. You can't tell what's going to lurk around every corner.
Probably thinking Brick will be grateful, huh?
What, that'd disappoint you?
No, Ed Brick's not in a position to demonstrate feelings of any kind. Yeah, if my alternative. You mean
It's like the police know they run this place. They know they do stuff there, and they don't even care. Unless something really crazy goes down, they have to investigate. So because there's so many dump places that are just left behind after all these wars that have happened, this is one where people can go in. Kids go to like a rave. It's basically like a rave. It's an illegal party in this spot. They go up in here. They get, they're doing all kind of stuff. They're taking all kind of crazy cybergenetic drugs and things, and they psych out and they listen to this wild techno music made especially by the DJs of the game. So the journalist is going in trying to research this music, and she gets caught up in this situation. Now, in a prior mission that you do, because the game is it's really epic. This is why I love this game. You got so many intertwined stories, right? You basically play this other story where the gang also runs, Maelstrom also runs a meat factory. They're real enterprising, right? And so their whole thing is technology. They want to become they're like the Borg in Star Trek. If the Borg from Star Trek was a game, it would be Maelstrom. All right, that's the best way I can describe them. They want to not be human. They want to completely Borg out and maximize their cybergenetic body to the point where, like, sometimes, most of the time, when you kill a Maelstrom gangster and you're having a shootout or cut them apart or anything, they don't even have red blood. They have like this eggnog-looking crap. It looks nasty as hell. It's like that's how much they've done to their body. They're not even human, really. They're all messed up. So anyway, you get up in this meat factory and you fight through, and at the end, there's a friend of your friend who's another guy who is a good friend of yours who he dies. I'm not going to get into all of that, but before all that happens, you two go on a lot of missions. And he knows this dude who's been captured by Maelstrom. And y'all got to get him out of there. If you can rescue him from Maelstrom, later on in this mission, he looks out for you because the gang remembers you. Some members of the gang are like, yo, and them fools who ran up in the meat factory, yo, let's get them. And it's like, wait a minute. Ease up. You can't touch them. They're untouchable. And everybody else in the gang is like, he's the leader now, so they're like pissed off at Brick, but they can't do nothing because he's the OG. It's like, what you gonna do? Sit your behind down and listen. Grown folk talking. So he saves your butt because you saved his. So it's really cool to see that come around. It's a really cool story arc, and I just just look at this scene. It's like a movie, y'all. I mean, the music and everything reminded me of the opening scene of Blade. Yes, I'm talking about Wesley Snipes' Blade, the classic vampire forever, right? The Daywalker. It reminds you of being in those clubs he goes in to get the vampires. It's just, look at this. It's amazing, right? So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what you're there to do. That's what you're there to save. And you get to just people watch. All these really cool cybergenetic makeups, all these different, as people say, chrome. When you get your body modified, they call it chrome. So because a lot of the parts are metal and everything. So, you chromed out. I like your chrome. That's the lingo. So it's so much. Just wow, it's chrome paradise up in this thing, and you get a chance for once to not be fighting them. So you got time to really look at them before you mangle them. Because when you get into a battle with them, and afterwards they just beat up, cut up, torn apart because you done put in that work on them with your weapons and everything. You can't really get a look at them. But when you in this more tense, peaceful environment, because at any moment you think, man, if I answer the question the wrong way, that's what I love about this game. It's all about decisions. You make the wrong decision, you pick the wrong answer to a question, things can jump off bad real quick. And you know that from the meat factory situation. That was one of the most cinematic parts of the game also. The game just has all these amazing cinematic parts where you're in a movie, you're playing a movie, and it just gets no better for this type of game. So if you like that kind of stuff, I highly recommend it. And as you can see, the deal is going down. And then, at a certain point, you got to head up out of there. But if you haven't played this, or if you've been thinking about playing it, see what all the fuss is about. It's a very, very intense game, very fun game. And just get ready. You will be going through the glitches of, you'll feel like you got a PC. Yes, all pun intended to PCs, because they break down more often than Macs, even though Mac has its problems too. But yeah, it's got a lot of them, y'all. I cannot count the times that my system is shut down. And yes, I'm playing it on a PS4. Somebody's probably saying, "Oh, well, that's your problem right there." Well, guess what? Once upon a time, there wasn't a thing called a PS5, and you were lucky just to have a 4. So yeah, I'm just glad that we can even still play and can still look forward to the new patch. Like the 1.6 is downloadable on the PS4. If you didn't know, at least it was for me. And so far, so good that I mean, I still get glitches, but not much more than I did with the last patch. So I'm not too mad. I mean, it's like, it's whatever. If you want to play, you know you're going to deal with it every now and then. But you'll have, you know, a whole day of play. Well, you know, I don't have that much time to sit around playing, but you'll have enough time to play at least an hour or so before something messes up. Or just, you know, you come back the next day and you think, oh man, that was really cool. You play again for 30 minutes and then it glitches on you, you know, so just got to be careful of that stuff. But other than that, this is a fun game, y'all. Enjoy. Cyberpunk 2077, nothing like it.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh, it could have been worse. This way you got a souvenir.
Fuck souvenirs. I'm headed straight back to the editing room. Wanna talk? Gotta come with me.